Greetings, loves. It is I, Tactical Girlfriend. So good to have you back here on the channel. As I always say, when we're making holes, we should also probably learn how to plug holes. If we're worried about holes in the first place, we should also probably try to be preventing them. That is where body armor comes into play, and there's many different shapes and forms. Specifically today, I'm going to be discussing plate carriers, their setups, and options. So why exactly would you want to wear body armor in the first place? Well, there's probably a number of different scenarios and situations that you might find yourself in where it could save your life. One of the most relevant examples is for folks working in security. When you're in a potentially dangerous environment and you're a static target, this is especially pertinent. Similarly, people attending public demonstrations might also benefit from some added protection depending on how spicy things get. All in all, generally, if your chances of getting shot are higher than normal, it's probably not a bad idea to invest in some plates. Another practical application is for us shooters when we go to the range, especially when we're running more kinetic or team-based drills. Things can get a little bit more risky, and mitigating that risk with some added protection is probably not a bad idea. Otherwise, for folks who aren't shooting, it's also great for LARPing in your mom's basement. The idea with hard body armor plates is to specifically protect the most immediate vital organs, in this case the lungs and the heart, the two things that will kill you the fastest if punctured by a round. This is especially why proper plate fitment is very crucial. With regards to proper placement of the plates in your plate carrier, that's a lot of alliteration. You want to make sure that your plates are nice and high and tight. A lot of people tend to let their plate carriers sag, which doesn't do you much good unless you're really concerned about your intestines for some reason. The very top edge of your plate should align with the very top edge of your suprasternal notch. You should be able to feel your plate carrier with your chin if you tuck it in. The very bottom of your plate should extend at least 1.5 inches below the very bottom of your sternum. With regards to the back plate, it's roughly going to mirror the front plate. With regards to positioning, the very top edge of the plate should be about 1 inch below the C7 vertebrae, or roughly around the T1 vertebrae. Speaking of proper fitment, we also want to consider how big our plates are. Again, you want to make sure that you're covering up those lungs and heart, so make sure that you're very carefully choosing the right dimensions for yourself. Plates also come in a number of different dimensions and form factors. In the military, you'll often hear about SAPI or ESAPI plates, whereas in the civilian world, you'll usually see things like 10 by 12 inch plates. Another very important consideration with plates is going to be the thickness. You want to make sure that they can actually fit into your plate carrier. So whatever plate carrier you decide to choose, make sure that you got the right dimensions that allow for the plates that you're also going to be using. Another really important specification to consider here is going to be the curvature of your plates. A lot of plates on the market you'll see being described as either single curve or multi-curve. Single curve is usually cheaper to produce, therefore cheaper for the end user. However, multi-curve is more comfortable, but also more expensive to produce. Another important consideration that I don't see getting talked about enough is what do people with boobs do with armor? Well, most boobs actually tend to pancake out, and if you're wearing multi-curve armor, it tends to actually be pretty comfortable in my experience. However, if you are more well-endowed than me, which many people certainly are, I do recommend checking out RMA. They sell something called female armor, which I'm actually just going to call boob plate, and it rates up to 3+, which is really impressive. Another crucial specification is going to be the weight of your plates. These things are heavy, and you're definitely going to feel it if you're wearing one of these for a while. Therefore, you do want to try to save weight as much as you can. You also have the option of side plates, which do add some protection from side to side, which is nice. However, again, they do add weight, so carefully consider this. Lastly, one of the most important aspects here is going to be the threat level of protection that the plates offer. These are typically measured by certified levels from the NIJ. Just make sure that you're doing your homework and getting the right plates for the right mission in mind. Another little side note here, I could get further into the minutiae around plates, but that's probably for another video. Just know that I generally recommend ceramic and polyethylene plates and recommend staying away from steel. Now let's move on to talking about actual plate carriers. This is my Ferro Concept Slickster. It's a really nice modular, slim profile, and slick plate carrier, perfect for minimalist scum like me. This one retails for about $158. Now, if minimalism isn't necessarily your jam, you can also check out the Ferro Concepts FCPC or the RE Factor Tactical mod of this plate carrier for a more overt configuration. As far as the plates that this carrier can take, it can fit medium SAPIs, E-SAPIs, and up to 10 by 12.25 inches with a 1 inch thickness. Now, starting with the top of these plates, there's these nice Velcro panels here on the front as well as on the back. These are great for attaching additional accessories. They're also good if you're a goober and you just need to cover your plate carrier in your Morale patch collection. One little note with Velcro accessories, just make sure it's nothing that needs to be undone to do any necessary functions, as it's quite noisy. Moving down, we have these laser cuts on the front panel that allow you to install a Swift clip system. The Swift clip system allows you to attach something like a chest rig, such as this Haley Strategic D3 CRM. I use this as my admin pouch as well as my ammo carrier. Another really nice feature on the Slickster is the elastic cummerbund that it comes with. This thing has actually maintained elasticity really well throughout the years. It also has these nice inserts in which you can put in AR mags, cat tourniquets like I have here and here, as well as my radio system back here. As for how all this comes together, it's all held in place by a lower panel of Velcro on the front and back bags. This makes the cummerbund very easy to adjust, as well as the plate carrier easy to put on and take off. Another really nice but subtle feature that Ferro added were these attachment points that are laser cut into the bottom of the plate bags. A very crucial feature is going to be the mesh lining on the interior of the plate carrier. Plate carriers can get very hot and stuffy, so I do appreciate every chance that you can get to mitigate that. Another really cool feature are the shoulder straps, which are fully adjustable. They're held in place by Velcro, so I do recommend sticking something flat like a ruler down there to break the hold of the Velcro, and then you can adjust it as necessary. Another thing with the shoulder straps is that they are very thin, however they are really nice and wide. I find them to be pretty comfortable. I did opt to try these external shoulder pads that you can install from Ferro. However, I did find that these actually pressed further into my neck and it was actually more uncomfortable with them on. However, your mileage may vary, that's just my body. As I mentioned before, this thing is surprisingly modular. Ferro Concepts has something called the ADAP system, which allows you to attach various kinds of pouches, bags, and magazine shingles to this otherwise pretty unassuming plate carrier. Beyond all that, Ferro also makes a nice little Velcro cable management system which you can purchase separately. On a lot of plate carriers, you can opt to install some fancy pouches and backpacks on the back panel. However, because I do run this one slick, I simply just wear a backpack over it with a hydration pack and it works just fine. One important thing to note, if you are worried about adding more accessories to the back panel and the one that comes with the Slickster is just too slick for you, they do actually have a laser cut MOLLE panel that you can buy separately. All in all, I really do like this plate carrier. It's pretty simple, bare bones, and does just what I needed to do and does it well. Now, I just want to stress that there's a ton of different options on the market, and the Ferro Concepts Slickster is just a very unique one among many others. Something similar to the Ferro Concepts Slickster is going to be the Spiritus LV119, which is another really nice, by default minimalist but very modular plate carrier. That one retails for about $250. I also managed to borrow a few different plate carriers from friends to offer you a little bit more perspective on what exactly is out there. This one is from Tacticool Tailor, which is a pretty quality military supplier. The pockets are shaped for SAPI plates, so it's kind of suboptimal for shooters using normal consumer cut plates. It also doesn't allow for plates thicker than 1/2 inch, so it definitely limits your options. However, it is very highly customizable, and the cummerbund is extremely comfortable. This one is specifically loaded out with HSGI shoulder pads, an S-Tac mag shingle, a Ferro Wingman radio pouch, a mil-spec Monkey shears and tourniquet holster, and a Grey Ghost dangler. The next up is the legendary Crye JPC 2.0. This can be had for about $240. These are extremely adjustable, very comfortable, and highly customizable. This plate carrier here is the LBT Active Shooter. This one takes minimalism to an even further level than the Slickster. It doesn't even have a cummerbund, definitely more in mind for people who need something to grab and go. Like the Slickster, this plate carrier especially conceals well under larger, baggier clothing. Well, I hope that was a nice and insightful little look at plate carriers in general, as well as my specific setup. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to hit that notification bell too. As always, I want to thank everybody endlessly for their help on Patreon. If you want to pitch in, go to patreon.com/tacticalgf. See the end of the video for the names of my biggest contributors. And that's a wrap. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Please be good to each other out there. And as always, take care. Bye!